All right. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. West side, west side, west side. What's the deal? Everything, man. So I want to say first and foremost, gratitude, like I did, and like it always is. But today's title would be "Word to the Wise." You know what I'm saying? So I'm just sharing my wisdom of the day. You know what I'm saying? Sharing my thoughts, my feelings, and all the shit like that. But not for real, for real. I really just want to share the wisdom of the day and what I received and whatnot. And I felt that with as I'm building this channel, you know what I'm saying, picking up the pace, being consistent every Thursday, I plan to drop a video. So this is part of that, you know what I'm saying? As far as, as we, build and create the space and whatnot, this is, me being true to my word, you know what I'm saying? And that's real. So I told myself that it's, every Thursday, I at least do one video a week, you know what I'm saying? So here we are. And much gratitude to everybody who catch this, you know what I'm saying? And today is 4/17/2025. Today offers the opportunity to go within the flow of things, being introspective and attentive in how your energy is speaking among the sounds of nature. So one's environment is also part of one's spiritual connection, realm, and experience. Therefore, today is calling for a shift or a change of routine of environment. And shit, I ain't gonna lie, I feel that. You know what I mean? I feel the shift. I feel myself as the shift, you know what I'm saying, as far as self-initiation and pure activation, should I say that? You know what I mean? Because it's on you to activate and do the work and pretty much put yourself in the spaces and places that you deem yourself worthy. You feel me? And so I've been doing just that, but I also recognize it in the subtlety, you know what I mean, where it ain't been too much hastiness or so much resistance, you know what I'm saying? But in the areas where I am, feeling a little antsy or hasty or whatnot, is rather internal or is rather, more it ain't physical. You know what I'm saying? So I've been recognizing, how to go within and check in with my mind, just to understand more so what's going on and how one is receiving information at the time. So go where your higher heart is calling you to go. Don't forget about your dreams is a song that came up too from Overlord Scooch. So I want to put that out there. Don't forget about your dreams by Overlord Scooch. And y'all can go listen to that and tap in. But that specifically came up because essentially the opportunity of your dreams or the opportunities of one's dreams coming into fruition is very it's very possible right now. So you don't want to give up or you don't want to find yourself squandering or dwindling in the deep dark of the shadows. And rather, if you find yourself in these shadows, find ways to create or find ways to, like they say, bring light, you know what I'm saying? And find what, sparks joy and find what sparks, the different things of creativity in your nature, in your being. And ultimately, this is when you get into the living of the dream. And you don't want to be so far away from yourself, or so yeah, you don't want to be so far away from yourself to where you are forgetting about the dream or you're forgetting about the vision that you have for yourself and would like to live or create. So in this moment, this is where releasing awareness of what no longer serves oneself or never did serve you. And this is where the self-recognition and self-realization will come in at, because you are then, analyzing and evaluating the things that did not, serve a purpose or even get to play a part in any way, shape, or form. So within that observation, you know what I'm saying, you're easily able to let go emotionally and mentally on the things that you need not of. And this is where we are, where it comes to releasing from the attachment of an ideal awareness to simply just being aware, or as some say, staying present. Because we're talking about what the mind, or what we allow the mind to perceive, project, and believe. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that, can be conscious, unconscious as to what we digest and how we, invest. That's one of the words I want to say, because that's one of the wise words of the day that came up when it comes to counting yourself in or counting somebody out, or just or just look at the discount of everything. You know what I'm saying? But your shit, the word investment came up because it was said that you can't you can't count nobody out without already. No, he said you can't count. He said you can't count yourself in without having been already invested, and that's kind of how the message came. And so I was kind of like just pondering on that, like just thinking of different ways of how what does that mean for me? And essentially, shit, I ain't gonna lie, it meant a lot. It meant a lot to a nigga because when we talk about counting yourself in or people counting you out, you know what I'm saying? This is where you got to understand where your time, your energy, your space, and all of that has been invested, or is being consumed, or what are the things you're buying into, or who's buying and sharing into your space. You feel me? Because these things are all possible, are all applicable. So excuse me for that. But essentially, how you how you how you digest these things based on what you invested in or you brought into will determine the nourishment and the nurturing that the body and mind receives. And so this is where shit, we're getting into the central focus, the central point, and ultimately attuning our mind and our bodies to that desired state, you know what I'm saying? Or attuning our mind and our bodies to the higher awareness, to the soul and to the spirit. So connecting, with your bodily nature and your physical in a different way, or shifting how you move or what you're doing is also, a part of this as well. And another song, you know what I'm saying? Because music just be coming through, when you real sound. But Golden Time of Day by Frankie Beverly and Maze, the Golden Time of Day. And the specific message of that was to shine your love. And that came through so lit. When I woke up this rising, it was lit. I ain't gonna lie. During the AM, you know what I'm saying? That shit was crazy. But it was the emphasis on the shine. You know what I'm saying? And that's what kind of sparked it in my mind when I was just like, damn, I could totally understand maybe where Frankie Beverly was in that time and space of recording. Not to put myself there, but let's say as I wake up today and as I step into my modality and how I want to operate, ultimately it's to shine and to be, embracing of my own inner being, my own inner light. You know what I'm saying? And let's say how you do that, is, let's say, with your love, with the things that brings you, that joy, that gratitude, that peace, that sovereignty, that openness, and that freedom that, let's say, all is within. You know what I'm saying? That access point that you know how to activate and unlock will grant you that golden time of day. You know what I'm saying? It'll grant you that, but it'll also grant you that light to shine your love. And so definitely, Frankie Beverly wants you to shine your love. And that was the message in that. And shouts out. And so being able to go within the deep spaces of oneself and raise yourself up to the height of the God that you so are. Mainly, that's what this is about, as far as the wisdom of the day. And this is where, strengthening yourself through trust or trusting yourself, better yet, self-awareness and understanding that everybody don't need to know what you know. And this is even, a message to me because, I love to share and open and tell everybody, what they, not what they need to know, but I'm be real. I love consciousness. I'm not going to lie. I enjoy knowledge and being able to, break things down and understanding and creating, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely, when it comes to just knowledge itself or gnosis, shit, I ain't gonna lie, I could be a nerd. You know what I'm saying? I could be, whatever, but it's not even in that way. It's more so of an attraction of learning, you know what I'm saying? And even when it comes to skill, technique, or just a study of things, you feel what I'm saying? It's not so much like, I'm not saying in a traditional way. I'm saying it in an experienced way. So when you can learn via experience or wisdom, you know what I'm saying, having applied knowledge or, knowledge applied, right? Then that's when, the adventure, the journey, the experience, the nature, the environment, things start to kind of show themselves a little different or in the way that they always been, but you start to realize. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's one of the things when it comes to self-awareness, knowledge, and all of that, that I find is to be ever growing. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't never stop. So that is what I find interesting as into how can I learn something new today? Or what is it that I'm interested in learning new today? You know what I'm saying? And how I'm going to spark these different forms of light within my own self. You feel me? And honestly, it come with, when I say everybody don't need to know what you know, let's say if you're receiving, sacred information or sacred wisdom and you have a sacred relationship with things, places, people, all the things, right? Then you got to be able to kind of like detach from that enough to not get so caught up in it to where like how can I say, you want to detach from it to where it can exist on its own in its sacred space. You feel me? To where you don't have to kind of like find yourself telling everybody or wanting to share with everybody or feeling like you can't share with everybody, but yet you understand that this sacred connection and relationship is rather, internal and it's at will of how you access and open up with yourself. And ultimately it's through the strength and trust in self, you know what I'm saying, and who you are as your own universe, right? That all is possible or all of this is, favorable unto you. And so this is where, when it comes to the knowledge and trusting the knowledge and trusting your knowledge and respecting your awareness and where you are able to grow and are allowing yourself to grow, recognize everybody don't need to know what you know because everybody ain't doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So it goes back to the quality of consciousness and even the quality of ethics and how you assert yourself or assume yourself into consciousness or in your own awareness. You feel me? And that come with, I would say, respect those who will to know or who want to know similar or the same thing as we would be one as students. However, disregard the fluffy bunnies, you know what I'm saying, who only want to cheat, hijack, or fake their way into consciousness. Because there's a lot of individuals, that do that shit, you know what I'm saying, who play games, you know what I'm saying? And it's not that they playing games with necessarily you, but they playing games with themselves. So if a person is not serious with themselves, you could damn show that they ain't serious with you. You feel what I'm saying? And this where we are to not be so caught up in the outside appearance that we are not, or not to be so caught up in the outside appearance of things that we forget or that we're not able to check in to the intuitive guidance and the wisdoms and the things that come through, because this is where a lot of the gifts and the downloads, the uploads, and all of the great things, right? This is where a lot of that is being unloaded. We'll just say that. You know what I mean? So how you are able to go within and access and tune your mind and body to the soul and spiritual nature of you, that is then how you will be able to receive and grow and embody that same energy. But this is where, hold on. This is where I put it to myself that, or I'm speaking to y'all, but I wrote it in the sense of you can't receive a gift or know you have a gift if you're not being present with yourself or practicing being. And that, in itself is where we are into shifting realities and shifting how you exchange energy by knowing yourself and self-value. And this is where in your receptivity, in your attraction, in your energy, in your magnetization and all of that jazz, right? This is where you get to analyze yourself and the things that you currently already do or are interplaying with. And personally, I find with me right now, just giving my observation or giving my share, should I say, giving my share of it is to be more clean and keen of your space. You feel me? Being more pure as your energy is and not tainting it and being dainty. You feel what I'm saying? So as much as we can expand or be abundant, right? How we access that abundance or how we even see that abundance and what we call abundance, that is what we will then experience based on our own, our own openness to expand and see and be all that all that it is, right? But essentially, without proper, or I'm gonna just say, yeah, with a lack of consciousness, one might not realize how they do that already. When you think about or I don't, yeah, when you think about how the abundance of negative shit that people can absorb, the abundance of drama that people can attend to and, invest, digest, and spend their time in and just, just be caught up in it, but then be wonder why, shit ain't going how maybe they want it to go or how they say it should go. You know what I'm saying? And so overall, shifting the realities and shifting how you exchange energy by knowing yourself and self-value, being infinitely abundant. This is where you attune your mind and body to the spirit to connect with your soul, as the soul is the connection. Knowing your connection is only lost when you choose to forget or disconnect. And at this time, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying this, as I'm speaking to y'all and speaking to myself, there is no more playing sleep to the sheep or people you want to see in your life, quote unquote, ascend. Release awareness of others and their own responsibility of being. That's really a key factor in this shit, man, because the Christ complex niggas can have when it comes to attachment to family, friends, people, places, and things that we want to see evolve or grow that maybe are not meant to or not wanting to. You can't fight. You can't fight that fight. That ain't your fight. You know what I'm saying? And even with love, you got to be able to let it go. And I'm saying this as I'm learning. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm learning, to let go with love and not let go with so much of frustration or just, you know what I'm saying? For some shit is meant for that, but you know this already. So for the things that you hold dear, you hold sacred, and like, dang, I love my family, but they ain't where I want them to be. I love my friends, but they ain't where I want them to be. We can't have the conversations that we used to have, or we can't even have better conversations or whatever. This is where you gotta let those ideals go in awareness that it should be, it's supposed to be, and it's expected to be, because it's not. And then when we talk about divine order, vibration, resonance, frequency, all of that, you know what I mean? Shit, everybody is not vibing on the same frequency. Everybody is not doing the same thing and not supposed to. So when you get to know yourself and get to know the energy that you are in, and then what that requires of you, but let alone what you require in that energy, what you require in that space regarding your peace of mind, regarding your sovereignty, your laughter, you know what I'm saying, your joy, the music that gets played, nigga, the videos, the books, all the shit that come with, that experience and being in that realm. And it don't even got to be all of those things I listed, but that's your responsibility, not nobody else's. And so you don't want to attach yourself to people that's outside of you so much to where you rely on these people to then, be turned up, or you rely on these people to be who you are. And that ain't true. You know what I'm saying? Word is bond. You don't need that shit. So I'll say it again. There is no more playing sleep to the sheep or people you want to see in your life ascend. Release awareness of others and their own responsibility of being. And when you do that, you can be more at peace and be shit. You ain't got what a person eat don't make you shit. You know what I'm saying? Gotta understand that. And nigga, when you can detach in that way and not even in a bad way, you'll have more freedom on your heart to receive and be, who you are, who you're called to be. So you be you and stay true to you. And this is just my message from me to you, to whoever is watching this. You be you and stay true to you. Whatever that means for you, take that as it is. Because let's say you are right where you need to be. So when you recognize that and you can, see that in yourself, then you won't question or second guess yourself in the presence of that you're in when it comes to person, place, or thing of, is this the right person? Am I looking good? Am I the right person? Is this the right job? Is this the right place? All of that mental shit can be removed and released as a form of awareness, because it don't even exist. You are beyond it. You have graduated and went beyond it to actually step in to a fulfillment of what you want and your desires and what you deserve. So definitely that. And that's where, staying true to you. And I would even say, I've been saying to myself, sticking to your guns, you know what I'm saying? But staying true to you. this is where you are able to receive, the wisdoms, you know what I'm saying, the understandings and the greater awareness of that you are. So stop glorifying ignorance. That's something I just want to say to everybody, you know what I mean, to the whole world, is stop glorifying ignorance. Recognize where you're called to grow and step into that way of being. And that way of being is where you'll find or discover new territory, writing and living in a whole new story. Open the way for self, knowing how much it is taken for you to get where you are. And within this new territory, you are liberated of past or even future thoughts of things that go against that or try to talk you out of moving forward. So don't become stagnant in your creativity and discover new ways to create the same effect or greater by choosing greater and knowing greater is available to you and for you. And awareness or knowledge, and also in the very actions you choose in aspiration and inspiration of your true self, being able to create at all times the life you want for yourself, or align yourself in the desired timeline of your higher self, which is in all timelines at all times, all at once. You know what I'm saying? So connected to that supreme nature and that supreme being, you know what I'm saying? Access is granted, you know what I'm saying? Open the way for yourself. That was the message that I wanted to, conclude this with, was open the way for yourself and learn to open the way for yourself. And nobody's going to open the way for you but you, because you have the keys to your own heart, soul, and spirit, and just sovereignty. So you got to know the codes and know, how to pick the lock of your own shit. And I'm not even saying pick it, but you got to understand the remembrance. You know what I mean? Because we ain't got to just say you got to break in. Nah, but nigga, don't get locked out of your temple. You know what I'm saying? Don't get locked outside yourself to where you can't go within yourself, to where you can't sleep, to where you can't meditate, to where you can't be at peace, to where you can't learn, to where you can't sojourn and be as you are. You know what I'm saying? For real. Because truly, what you are as an energy source or as energy is much greater than what we condense in the mind. And this is something that I'm even having to, not even just, no, fuck it. I'm admitting. As much as I have knew this and affirmed this and admitted, I am readmitting myself to understand in a greater awareness of why that is. And so I think recognizing that is also part of this path right now too. So definitely, this just, the wisdom of the day. And I wanted to come in here and share that wisdom of the day. I felt, like, damn, what could I bring? And it was that. And so, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to everybody, who gonna catch this live video, everything. Much gratitude. And if you are open enough to receive this wisdom, much gratitude for you. It was for you. And that's my main thing is, it's connected to whoever this is for. You know what I'm saying? Because not like that. Like, I don't know who I'm speaking to. But as far as I know, I'm speaking from myself, for myself, to any and everybody who was interested in raising themselves up. So if you come across this page and you come across this video, it was meant for you to see this. Put it like that. And gratitude, much gratitude. And I'm ended like that. One love.